Oh, hey, welcome back, guys. I'm glad you could join me today. Before we get started on talking about what it means to be a YouTuber in today's internet world with AI, I just want to introduce you to today's sponsor, Neewer. I have worked with Neewer in the past, and they make fantastic equipment for photographers, cinematographers, vloggers. I have actually been posting on YouTube since practically the beginning when they first got started.
Thank you for partnering with me today, Neewer. This is the Neewer RB18B 18-inch edge-lit LED cordless ring light, and it is wonderful. This is the Neewer NF01 1500 LM Smart RGBW corner floor lamp.
I was one of the first people on the internet way back when the .com first came out, late 70s, early 80s. And I have to tell you that in the beginning, when I started my YouTube channel, it was really kind of going great. And I recommended it to a lot of people because it was a really nice way to make a little bit of extra money, just sharing stuff that was funny or, informative. And it was doing really well. There was no algorithm, so people were getting the opportunity to see everyone's videos and they could choose what they wanted to look at. They could also type in a search bar if they were looking for something in particular, and they could just go find it. It was fun. I made about $100 every 3 months. It was deposited into my bank account. I had 33 videos, and they were just short little clips of just random life stuff. So you could actually tell that you could make some good money on YouTube if you continue to upload, which I didn't. I was busy at the time. I was teaching at a small local school, and I had 3 daughters, and I was pretty busy, and I wasn't looking at YouTube as a career. But I appreciated it. Also, I appreciated the fact that people from all around the world, people who are struggling in India or Pakistan or someplace where they didn't have enough income, could make a few dollars here and there and buy some groceries or maybe make their rent and things like that. However, things changed, and I think that was about... I forget the year that YouTube decided to take all of the income away from the communities of the world and keep it for themselves. They decided that they got big enough, they had enough people coming in, they had enough exposure, advertisers, videos, and they started to exploit that. So they cut off all of the little people, all the communities, all the single moms, all the people that were starving on the roadsides, that were getting just enough money from YouTube, from their work to survive. They took all of that away and put it in their own bank account, which I think was the beginning of the growth of evil within YouTube. I know that a lot of people will sugarcoat things like this and kind of dance around the reality, but I'm not going to do that with this video. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you like it is to be a YouTuber, and yeah, here we go. I was pretty upset about it, to say the least, because I had been with YouTube for many years, and I just felt that that was sinful, shameful, immoral, unethical, and just downright criminal. To use all of these people and to take away their income from their work out of greed because you want it all for yourself. So they decided that all of a sudden you had to have 1,000 subscribers And I think at that time there wasn't watch time hours required, but it was kind of difficult for people to get 1,000 subscribers, but they did it. And then once again, they changed the rules, told people that, oh, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and all of these watch time hours too. So then it made it even more difficult, right, to make any kind of income off of YouTube. Then we started to see that they were cherry picking certain people to promote. It's gotten harder and harder to meet the requirements to make any type of money whatsoever. And when you do meet those requirements, they give you so little advertising money that it's almost impossible to make anything. So for example, I have a channel that's been up for 10 years at least, and I have hundreds of videos, and I have just under 10,000 subscribers. Well, YouTube didn't like what I was talking about. They didn't like that I had an opinion or that I wanted to discuss anything that was going on in the world or with medical or with COVID-19 at the time. So they began to shadow ban me and not suggest me to people. And there was actually a long period of time where you couldn't even search my name and have me pop up. I just wasn't populating in a search, even with my full name typed out for my channel. That has since, I believe, gotten fixed, at least to a degree. I am having some of my videos suggested, but I'm also noticing that now we have AI filtering through everything. The AI is able to read photographs, able to read signs. It can identify what you're talking about on all of the videos, and it is set to shadow ban, cause errors, prevent upload, do deletion, make it look like you've posted your video, but they will suggest it to no one if they don't like what you're talking about. If you don't fit into their agenda, if you want to have free speech, that's just a big no-no on YouTube now. YouTube is very censored. It is very politicized. It is weaponized. It is really a bad place. And I'm still on here because I've been on here for a very long time. And I am a creator. And even though I struggle through all of that, my videos have been deleted. I have been threatened by YouTube. I have been shadow banned. I was taken off the search databases for a while. And not because I'm a dangerous person or a hateful person or an untruthful person. It's just that I speak truth. I like to talk about the reality of life and what we're dealing with. I like to have discussions about important things that may be impacting us as human beings in the community and the world, and I have a right to do so. I have a God-given right to think about what I want to think about, to talk about what I want to talk about, to disagree with someone if I choose, to have differences of opinion, and to be free as a human on this shared planet under God that created us all and everything, right? But that's actually not what's happening anymore with AI and these databases and, censorship and political agendas and covert government entities and the whole 9 yards. And we all can see this now. We all know that this is happening. We are seeing databases going up without our permission. Using money that was taken from us without our permission and our consent. None of us were born into this world consenting to buy licenses to be able to work or to drive our cars. We were not consenting to hand over our money or be put in jail for taxes and whatnot. We were not consenting to say some people own all of the earth that the God created for all of us, and now we have to pay them for it, but we can never own a piece of it and use it for what we want until we buy licenses and permits and pay money to someone else for a piece of the earth that doesn't belong to them. This earth does not belong to any particular human being. We all have to share it. I can't say, okay, I have $1 million, so I'm going to go buy a big portion of Wyoming and I'm going to own it just for me. And, you know, all the people that don't have $1 million, well, they can't have anything unless they pay me, right? No, that is immoral, unethical, ungodly, satanic. This earth is to be shared with everyone. Nobody should have to pay to have a piece of land to grow food on, to access water, to have animals, and to build a home. That is a God-given right. This earth was given to all of us to use as our home and to provide food and water and a home for us, right? But what has happened is we've got evil entities and it's channeling through really awful human beings, and these human beings have manipulated things to where they have all of these resources and they're holding it over everyone else's heads, and they're trying to control everyone else, and they're causing chaos, sadness, anxiety, anger, wars, poverty, suffering across this whole planet, right? So, and YouTube is a big part of it. Google is a huge part of it. I was trying to warn people about Google so long ago. Like between 2008 to 2012, I was warning people all the time. I was warning people about Monsanto and GMO and Google and all of that. And you know what? All of those posts from a long time ago, they got wiped away. Disappeared. I didn't do it. Google did it. Whoever owned Twitter before Elon did it. We're dealing with that right now with YouTube. Okay, so if you are a creator and you have no political opinions and you could care less about anyone else and you just want to make money putting up a bunch of nonsense or silliness or whatever it might be, maybe it's something of substance, I don't know. Maybe you're going to teach painting lessons or guitar lessons, that's fine. But anything else, beware, you guys, beware. And also, how long do you think you can do that one thing and only that one thing? They have this algorithm set up to force you to only focus on one thing in your life and one thing only, which causes monotony, it causes boredom, it causes mental health issues, it causes you to feel trapped because you're not allowed to have any other interests whatsoever, or you're suddenly lost in the algorithm. They don't know what to do with you because you started playing guitar, but you also like to decorate cakes, or you would like to talk about religion from time to time, or maybe you're going on a boat trip and you want to share that. Well, all of a sudden, that is too much for the algorithm. So just let me tell you that, if you're going to get involved with YouTube, just know what you're up against. And also, you may notice that you cannot find small YouTubers that have started creating things. It's almost impossible. There might be some really fantastic videos out there, but you're probably never going to see them because they cherry pick who they want to promote. There's an agenda behind all of it. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. If you go into YouTube and start looking at YouTube from a different phone or a different computer or a different internet IP or something to that effect. And all of a sudden you'll see new and interesting things, stuff that you would like to maybe check out. But if you're on your regular phone or your PC, you're going to get bombarded with trash, right? You're going to get bombarded with Republican propaganda or libertarian propaganda. You're going to get bombarded with war propaganda and propaganda that wants to cause you to hate another religion or another race or another group of people or, whatever the case may be. And let me just say something here. The devil loves chaos. The devil loves division. The devil loves fear and anxiety and all of that. And YouTube is the perfect place to cause a lot of that. And something else I need to tell you. Words and thoughts are very powerful. So we got to think about why they want to control our words and our thoughts. Why did they want to do that? They want to do that because they want power, right? So if a lot of people are thinking about, hey, let's make a beautiful world. Let's be together. Let's build families. Let's support each other. Let's not go along with this plan of paying taxes and buying licenses and all of that. Let's not purchase garbage from the grocery stores. Let's get together and build food forests again and community gardens. And instead of planting regular trees, let's plant fruit and nut trees all across the cities. They don't want that. So that's going to be sidelined, hushed up, pushed aside, shadow banned, whatever the case may be. What they want is distraction, fear, anxiety. Oh, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. They don't want us thinking for ourselves. They don't want us living for ourselves because that takes power away from them, right? So yeah, if you're going to be a YouTuber, I mean, go for it, but just know what you're in for. I mean, you may get picked to be one of the creators that gets promoted, but then you have to ask yourself what's around the corner from that, right? Why are you being chosen for that? Maybe you really are that good and somehow your stuff is being shown, right? But at what point are you going to become big enough that they're going to use you or manipulate you to do, say, or act or post in a way that they want to put their own propaganda out there or manipulate others, right? We saw a lot of that during COVID-19. We're seeing a lot of that now. Like if you're a person on either side of the political spectrum and you go to a family member's house or a friend's house that's on the opposite side and you watch their TV set or you use their computer, you're going to see a whole different set of propaganda coming in and a lot of it, right? Because they're trying to brainwash people, right? They want people divided because a community that is together, they're powerful, right? They say, no, you can't do that. You can't build data centers because we all say no, right? You can't destroy our ecosystem with your solar panels because we all are standing down on that, right? You can't tax us and make us pay taxes because we all refuse. They don't want that because it takes power from them. It takes money from them because the money gives them the tool in the way society is structured right now to have power, right? So they do everything they can to keep us all divided, silenced, with minimal information, minimal truth, right? And a lot of division. We've seen it over and over and over again. When one of their plans starts to fizzle away or doesn't work, they go right into a new one. We can see that they were using LGBTQ, right, in the past to divide people. They were using Black Lives Matter to divide people. They were using the COVID-19 to divide people. They were using the "Oh, we hate white people" campaign there for a while. Right now, they're using Muslims. They want people to be afraid of Muslims, right? This is over and over and over again. I believe that the main source of this is evil, satanic energy, demonic energies that are all over this planet, around this whole energy planet. But that has to work through human beings, right? So it channels through certain human beings. And that's why we have so many of them all over the place. And you're like, well, how can there be that many all over doing all this bad stuff? How could they be connected? How could there be? Yeah, well, that's why. Because this bigger, darker, ancient, very intelligent energy entity can channel through all of these beings, just like God and good energy and truth can channel through a lot of us, right? You can really only channel one big one at a time. You get a little bit trying to come in from the other side all the time. But if you're filled with the dark energy, if you're filled with anger, resentment, sadness, anxiety, fear, jealousy, and envy, then you're only going to get little bits and pieces of goodness, generosity, love, happiness, joy, peace. If you're filled with mostly helpfulness and service and love and happiness and togetherness and truth and, all of that, you're going to be filled with that. But you're going to get little bits and pieces of the, oh, maybe you should do this, or maybe you're not doing the right thing, or, oh, nobody likes you, or, oh, I think, today's going to be a bad day. You get little bits and pieces of that coming in, but it doesn't stick around for too long because you're filled with God energy. You're channeling in God of heaven. You're channeling in all of that energy of light, which is a high vibration. If you're on the opposite spectrum, where you're trying to be greedy and manipulative and you're angry and you like just me, well, you're on a lower vibration. That's feeding the darkness. If you're on a higher vibration, you're feeding heaven, right? Okay, so this is important to remember, and all of this goes right back to YouTube because we're all plugged into YouTube across the planet. The majority of us anyway, we like to see what's going on. We like to hear stuff. We like to learn stuff. We like to laugh. We like to live vicariously through someone else's adventure, or learn a new skill, or, find out what we think is going on around the world. So, and all of that is happening through YouTube and other platforms like Rumble, and there's a few others, right? But we have to use discernment. We have to use critical thinking skills. We have to do our own research when we find something out and we're not sure. We have to listen. We have to listen to what we would call the Holy Spirit. If we're people of God. If we're not people of God, we don't care, right? If we're not people of God, we're just out there trying to be hateful on the internet and bring people down, or get above somebody else, or tell a lie, or, do whatever we can to climb to the top and make as much money as we can. And that's a different kind of person. There are two kinds of people on this planet. And there are many of us that are kind of like stuck in the middle, like being pulled one way and then the other, and then the other, and then the other, right? Pulled back and forth like a tug of war. And eventually, they'll end up on one side or the other, right? But not without a lot of torment in the meantime, right? So just know that YouTube is a dangerous place. It is not a happy place. It is not going to bring you joy. It is not going to bring you wealth unless there's something behind it. Okay, so you might be wondering, what are the good points of being on YouTube and having a YouTube channel? So the good points are that if you reach people, it could be a really nice community. So whether you reach a few people or a lot of people, it can be a really nice friendship between you and others across our world, right? So you get to communicate back and forth, share ideas. It's nice to have, people compliment you or sometimes give you some criticism that you can work with, right? Constructive criticism. I mean, there are some medium to medium large influencers that are making some money. The other nice thing about doing YouTube is it opens the door for brand deals. I myself get a lot of brand deals. Some of them are just for the product and others are for payment and the product. So if you are offered a product that you think you can use or that you would really like to have, then you can get that for free as a trade. They give you the product and you spotlight the product for them on a short or a regular video or as part of a longer video. And a lot of times they will pay you a certain amount of money depending on what your audience size is. So I'm going to be truthful with you guys. I don't have a super large audience, but I do have a little over 50,000 people. And so I am often approached by companies that would like for me to showcase their products. And sometimes it's just a straight off trade. So if I really want the product, I will do a trade. I usually make about $150 to $250 per brand deal. And what comes along with that is also the product. For the most part, all of the companies that have sent me products, the products have been very nice. Very nice and beautiful and work well. So that's one thing that's nice about YouTube, is that you can do deals with companies to help them platform their product, and it gives you a little bit of financial support and a very nice product. Another good thing about YouTube is that you can do affiliate links. So if you get a platform of, let's say, 10,000 and higher, then you can put affiliate links. You can mention the products, and when somebody purchases through your link, then you make a little bit of money, and that can add up. Also, I think that it's a nice archive of your history, right? So you can go back and you can see what your life was like, what you were like years ago. Your family can watch videos and see themselves or see you at different periods of your life. And if you lose somebody, right, that's on YouTube, you still have them in a sense right there, so you can listen to them, watch them. So it's kind of like you're leaving a little bit of a legacy behind to your friends and family in a sense as well. Now, whether or not we're going to have actual YouTube in 10 or 20 years, I have no idea. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the good parts of YouTube and the bad parts of YouTube. So you do with this what you will. Also, another tip for your vlogging, if you decide to do YouTube or if you've already started doing YouTube, is do the best you can to get good audio, clear audio. Lighting is important. We've got some lighting over here from Neewer, right? And you can find different really fun camera attachments, gadgets that you can use. The quality of the video should be fairly good. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can use an older phone. Well, I hope you guys get something out of this vlog. I hope you don't get too discouraged. If you have a dream and you have things that you want to share, go ahead and share them. Just use discernment, be wary, understand how YouTube actually works behind the scenes, be careful, don't get your hopes up, don't have high expectations, because if you don't have high expectations, then you're protecting yourself from getting hurt, okay? Use your critical thinking skills, right? All right. Good luck, everyone. Try Rumble as well. It seems to be a pretty good platform so far. And I know there are a few others, but I can't think of their names right now. No smooth road here. This is the test run, you guys. Okay. Okay, guys, until next time, I'll see you later. And thank you, Neewer, for these wonderful camera mounts, because I'm going to be using them a lot.